Hey everybody, I am dropping some information that you may find interesting today about the quadriceps. Yes, I am still obsessing about the femur, my favorite bone and muscle groups in the body. So you may be surprised to find out that there are more than 4 quadriceps. Yes, there are. So let's start with the basic 4 that you may have learned in school, or you may already know. The Quadriceps Group, one of its main functions is to extend the knee, right? So it brings the leg forward, extends the knee, and that's rectus femoris, the only one, the most superficial, and the only one to cross the hip and actually flexes the hip as well. And then the 3 others, the one on the front here, Vastus intermedius, and then Vastus medialis and Vastus lateralis, that start from the back here on this bony landmark, the linea aspera, and they wrap around to the front. So all these muscles are really supportive of the knee joint, the thigh here, front and sides, and extending the knee. But there's more. So there's also a little tiny muscle way down here on the distal anterior front of the thigh bone, the femur, and it actually helps to, its name is articularis genu, if I'm pronouncing that right. And it helps to actually lift that tissue here. It inserts on the bursa, the suprapatellar bursa, that little pad of tissue there, that fluid-filled tissue. And it lifts that out, and it kind of gets that extra connective tissue out of the way when the knee comes forward, when the leg comes forward in knee extension. And so that's often considered the 5th of the muscle group. And depending on the text you're looking at, they'll even call it just a 4-headed or a 5-headed muscle, or they'll call it a muscle group, because they do all have that similar function, and they all have the same insertion, well, except for that little articulating muscle here that's a little different. And then there's another one. So a group of, I think, researchers in Switzerland in 2016 discovered a muscle that they named Tensor of Vastus intermedius. And it's kind of its own muscle, and it's sandwiched up here in between Vastus intermedius and Vastus lateralis on the side here, on the lateral edge. So it has its own, it's its own muscle because it's encapsulated, and it has slightly different insertion, and it has its own fascial compartment around it. And so that's how they differentiated that. And they did this research on, I think, 26 different bodies, and they found this on all of them. And so yeah, in 2016 we had a 5th or a 6th muscle to this group. So is it time to rename the quadriceps group, seeing that a quadriceps actually means 4 muscle? So I hope you found that interesting. I do.